Hello, secondary English teachers. My name is Cora Garner, and I'm an English 1 and 2 teacher at the DeSoto High School. Today, I'm going to demonstrate a virtual lesson that will serve as an exemplar during this time of distance learning. The software that I'm going to use is Screencast-O-Matic. The presentation tool that I'm going to use is Google Slides, and the classroom platform that I'm going to use is Google Classroom. Throughout this video, you may want to pause and take some notes. If you have any further questions, please email or call me. Enjoy. Welcome everyone to Distant Learning Week 4. Welcome to class. This is English 2. So the lesson objective and frame for today, it comes from Standard E2.5a. Analyze isolated scenes and their contribution to the success of the plot as a whole in a variety of works in fiction. So the objective, scholars will be able to explain how isolated scenes contribute to the plot as a whole, how the author builds suspense, introduces the story problem and conflict. So in order to frame this lesson and reel you in, I'm going to show a short clip from The Incredibles. It's the family soup scene. As you watch this clip, you can do a turn and talk with your family member, your friend, and just kind of discuss how is, this particular scene contributing to the plot as a whole. Where is the suspense? What is being said that kind of introduces the conflict? Take a look.
Told you will die. I did Robert's suit, and it turned out so beautiful. I had to continue.
It's great to see you, but I gotta tell you, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, words are useless. Gobble, 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 gobble. Too much of it, darling, too much. That is why I show you my work. That is why you are here. Edna mode. And get it. Come, sit. Cream and sugar. I started with the base.
Started?
Cut it a little roomy for the free movement. The fabric is comfortable for sensitive skin. It can also withstand the temperature of over 1,000 degrees. Completely bulletproof. And machine washable, darling. That's a new feature.
What on earth do you think the baby will be doing?
Well, I'm sure I don't know, darling. Luck favors the prepared. I didn't know the baby's powers, so I covered the basics.
Jack doesn't have any powers.
No? Good for fabulous anyway. Your boy's suit are designed to withstand enormous friction without heating up or wearing out, a useful feature. Your daughter's suit is tricky, but I finally created a sturdy material that will disappear completely as she does. Your suit can stretch as far as you can without injuring yourself and still retain its shape. Virtually indestructible. But it breathes like Egyptian cotton. As an extra feature, each suit contains a homing device, giving you the precise global location of the wearer at the touch of a button. Well, darling, what do you think?
What do I think? Bob is retired. I'm retired. Our family is underground. You help my husband resume secret hero work behind my back?
Well, I assumed you knew, darling. Why would he keep secrets from you?
He wouldn't. Didn't. Doesn't.
Men at Robert's age are often unstable, prone to weakness.
What are you saying?
Do you know where he is?
Of course.
Do you know where he is?
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that scene just as much as I did. There were a few comments that Edna made that did reveal some suspense. Like, for example, when she said, why would he keep secrets from you? She asked the wife that about her husband. She also said, do you know where he is? He's prone to weakness. So these particular comments that Miss Edna made to the wife, it let the reader know, oh, okay, this scene is important because now we know this family is going to have to take on some danger and possibly save the world. And so that was a great way to kind of look at an isolated scene and figure out the suspense there, figure out how it may contribute to the plot. As we move along, I want you guys to look at this graphic here. You should remember this. This is like a plot diagram. It's a traditional one, very colorful. It starts off with the exposition, the rising action, climax, falling action, and the denouement, or the resolution. We also know that usually building suspense happens right about here with the rising action. That's just what we saw in that scene. We also know there's a such thing as nonlinear plot, where we have plot twists, where we have, foreshadowing, and we have all of these little different elements that twist the plot just to make the reader more suspenseful and want to know more. As we continue, I want us to go into a model activity. We're going to read a historical fiction text. The lesson will give you a good idea of how to create your end of year short story assignment. So this excerpt is called From My Mother's Voice, so really my mother's voice, the proclamation. I want y'all to pause for the cause. You got 7 minutes to read this text and it's posted in assignments. Let me show you how to get there. So from your Google Classroom page, which will look something like this, you're just going to scroll and you're going to find the excerpt. And here it is, excerpt from my mother's voice, the proclamation. You'll click on it. You've got 7 minutes to read, and then let's check back in. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed reading that excerpt just as much as I did. Now, as for modeling, I'm going to show a scene from the story and talk you through how this scene contributes to the overall plot. The scene I selected comes from paragraph 17. You can pause the video and go to paragraph 17 and read along with me. His mother, Shushan, had delivered the new addition to his growing family. A vision, she had said, her eyes widening as she handed him his newest daughter. I see many gifts coming to this child, some in the sunlight and some in the shadow, all showering down from heaven. So when we look at that scene and we think about the impact on the plot, during this scene, the author actually builds suspense by foreboding and symbolizing forthcoming danger. By stating, I see many gifts coming to this child, some in the shadow, the author forebodes that Flora will prevail but will encounter some challenges throughout her life. The term shadow symbolizes darkness or tribulation, such as the war that is coming to Turkey. So guided practice. I want you now to choose another scene that contributes to the overall plot. I want you to pause this video, work on it, check on your answer, and then see my response below. And we're back. So for this guided practice, I chose the scene from paragraphs 26 through 27. It reads, his pleasant reverie ended with a clash. Dust spiraled upward as a soldier on horseback galloped into the square and pulled up short in front of the bakery. Turkish soldiers were a common sight lately, but there was something unusual about this one. His dismounted, strutted toward the small wood frame building and clutching onto a sheaf of paper. He nailed the paper to the wall, remounted his horse, and sped away. Let's talk about the impact on plot. During this scene, the author introduces the story problem by including the onomatopoeia clash. In imagery of soldier on horseback, the reader can connect the fear and uncertainty Haggard is faced with. This scene is important to the entire plot because it's a pivotal turning point that creates a shift from peace to panic amongst Haggard and his family. Now it's time for the collaborative practice. I know you all love this section where you can collaborate with your peers and have these meaningful discussions. So there's 4 questions that I've posted on the Google Classroom for you that relate to this particular text. Number 1, how does life in Hajin drastically change when a Turkish soldier hangs proclamation on the wall? Number 2, how has Haggard and his family's life changed by the war? Number 3, why does prejudice emerge during times of war? And number 4, what are other examples of times in which discrimination and prejudice increases during the war? So you can just choose one of those 4 questions to respond to on this discussion board, but make sure that you're interacting with your other peers and that you're responding to them as well. Following the collaborative practice, enter into your independent practice. So what you're going to do is read The Lottery by Shirley Jackson and follow these steps. Number 1, choose an isolated scene, and remember, we're talking about how the author builds suspense, introduces conflict, climax. Number 2, explain how that scene impacts the entire plot of the story. And finally, how might understanding the value of isolated scenes help you write your own story plot? So let me show you how to access this text. When you get onto Google Classroom, you'll see that I've posted The Lottery short story. This is where you can read the text. When you're ready to do the independent practice, click on Classwork, and then you'll see Week 4 Independent Practice. So once complete with the independent practice, complete the formative assessment by yourself and then submit. Just keep in mind that the deadline is Friday at noon, and now I'm going to show you how to access this formative assessment. From Google Classroom, like I showed you The Lottery, you again go to Classwork. Right here, this first link, Week 4 Formative Assessment, that's what you will click. You'll see the instructions there repeated. You'll complete the formative assessment and submit by the deadline. Thank you all so much for following along during this virtual lesson. I really look forward to grading your independent practice, reading those meaningful discussions and your responses, and I also look forward to grading the formative assessments. Please reach out to me via email if you have any questions or concerns. Have a good day.